Hello, hello. Give me just a quick minute. Please feel free to say hello when you pop on. I need to find the live on my Facebook page. I see it. Share this video with Tenderfoot Village Gnomes and Gnomies. Yes. Share it. What else I got going on? During this broadcast, you can support the page by sending stars, a digital gift that helps you. I guess that's new. Hey, y'all. I don't know what's going on. There's all these automatic posts that I see that I did not make, but it made for me. This is my first time I've been live on my Tenderfoot Village page in a minute. So hello this evening. If any of you that are in the Tenderfoot Village Gnomes and Gnomies group, or anybody in the membership club, if you guys can share, I said the word, if you can sprinkle this live over into those places, because there's people that want to be on the live and miss out because they don't see it post or it doesn't notify them. So anyway, hello, welcome. It is really cold this evening, and I thought it would be fun to just hang out together tonight, and I'm gonna make this for y'all. You can make this too. I did put up a supply list in the description of the event under the events tab. But I was kind of wanting to do this as like just to kind of hang out and just spend some time together. This wasn't really going to be a live tutorial tonight. I just kind of wanted to show you how simple this little gnome is to make and fun. And he's a great addition to like Easter gifts, Easter basket gifts, whether you want to sell them or gift them. He is wonderful and comes together really well. So I thought you might enjoy seeing that. If you'd like to sprinkle around, please, I'd appreciate it. It means a lot to me. So really quick, some of you are in my group, my membership club, and some of you are in the Gnomes and Gnomies, the Tenderfoot Village Gnomes and Gnomies. But the ones of you that aren't, let me just tell you, we have been doing a whole lot of fun classes already this month in the membership club. And I just want to show you really quick, if y'all are okay with that. So we did two beginner classes last week. We did a standing gnome, a girl version. Her hair is made out of a mop. So we did that version, and then we did a sitting gnome as well. I thought would be great for St. Patrick's Day. And the hat I actually made, and I will be teaching. It has a pattern, and I will be teaching how to make this Thursday in the Makers Club. So there's his little hat. It's very cute. I love it. I think it's awesome. We also this month already have learned how to make unicorn horns and monster horns in the Makers Club. We made them out of air dry clay and polymer clay, and I talked about the benefits of the different ones. And then we did a different style for the Valentine guy. As you can tell, his little head is a more rounded shape, so we learned how to do that this month in the Makers Club, which was a lot of fun. He came together really, really well. Get his little thing out of the way. So yeah, we have been having a lot of fun over there. If you want more information on that, you can send me a private message, or someone, if anybody wants to, can always comment with the link to the how to sign up for the membership club. So without further ado, let's jump into this live. So to make this little Easter bunny gnome, Dollar Tree gnome, so simple. Hello. Let me say hello real quick. Let me back up. Let me slow down. Wow, we've got a lot of people from lots of different places. Thank you so much for the stars. That's so cool. I've never seen that before, so I appreciate that. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but thank you so much. And then, let's see. I'm going to talk about some different ways you can do this without having to do the bunny. So don't be discouraged if you can't find the bunny. I see a lot of people saying, oh, you can't find the bunny, so we're going to talk about that. I am so glad Steph found me. Parker, I see some very familiar faces. So wonderful. All right, let's get going. Okay, so to make the Dollar Tree rabbit gnome, the first thing you're going to need is a Dollar Tree rabbit. Let me cut this little tag off real quick. And if you cannot find the Dollar Tree rabbit, whoops, there are other things you can use. You guys can use a stuffed animal. I mean, really and truly, the reason that this is beneficial, really and truly what we're using, we want this head area, we want those bunny ears. So if you can't find the Dollar Tree rabbit, but you see another rabbit, you can still do the same techniques on top of that. Anyway, the benefit of the Dollar Tree rabbit also is that he's weighted in the bottom already, so he sits up on his own, which is a lot of fun. I'm going to go ahead and cut this tag off. This is not required, but it's just what I choose to do. Sarah, did you get a penny a star? It's like a tip. That is super cool. Thank you so much. I have no clue. I don't even know how. It's pinned on my comments, so I don't know how to make it go away without swiping all my comments away. I can't. It's like right there in the bottom of the comments section, the post. So I'll have to figure that out. Anyway, okay, so you need a Dollar Tree bunny rabbit. You'll need something to do the nose, and I meant to show two different ways. I have hid my fleece from myself. Oh, I see it. Good. I can show you the other way. Okay. You'll need some material for your hat, and then whatever embellishments that you're going to want to use on for your rabbit. And you see, I just gave him a carrot. You could put some little flowers or springtime stuff on his head. You can actually put them right here in front, kind of like we would do a unicorn gnome. I think that'd be really cute. So hit the 3 dots to hide it. It's not giving me 3 dots, unfortunately, Larry. It's just like right there, and it says it's pinned. I don't know. I will figure it out, though. I'll make it go away at some point. Okay. So the first thing, oh, and you need faux fur, duh. And that's the one thing that, boy, I was totally unprepared. 2 lives in a day threw me off, I think, a little bit. So first thing I'm going to do is cut me some faux fur, and I have really made some cuts into this when I was doing another. Oh, wait, hold up. Y'all, hold up. You have to see this little gnome that I made today. I'm sorry. I'm so tickled by how it turned out. Could I please go closer in? I absolutely will go closer in and get you guys down here with me. Y'all, look at this little gnome that I made today. He's so cute. Let me turn him around for you. He got a little cotton tail. And I haven't decided if I'm going to leave his ears floppy like that or maybe put him up a little higher. But I think he turned out so cute. What do y'all think? He's so floppy. Set him over there out of the way. All right, let me get that out of the way too. So let me get you down in here close with me. And I'm going to start by cutting my faux fur. Get that out of the way. Grab my ruler. I personally right now really like the measurement of 3 inches wide by 3.5 inches long. That is it's just really, I really like the look of that. It's kind of resonating with me right now. So that's what I'm going to do. I am going to straighten that edge real quick. So that's 3 inches across and 3.5. Oops. Line it up on the yellow, Sarah. 3.5 inches down. And again, 3 inches across. So you guys can see me cut it out. All right. Those of you who know me know how much I love using my box cutter to help me cut my material. I love it because I can allow the box cutter to do the work by pressing down. If you notice, it kind of points in on its own. And I just love that. So I'm gonna actually use my box cutter, and I'm pressing down just a little bit, not too much, allowing it to do the work for me. And it really works well when you have a sharp blade. If your blade is not sharp, you just need to change the blade in order to cut it. And I just take my time on this, and then I'm going to do the same thing going down. Not cutting, I only want to cut through the back of the material. I don't want to press so hard that I cut through the faux fur. That would create a really straight line, and I'm not trying to do that. You kind of have to play with it a little bit to kind of get a feel for how hard or light to push. But you learn pretty quickly, I think, how much pressure that you need. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and brush this out real quick just to get rid of some of that excess faux fur. All right, get rid of that. And then I've got that. Now, I'm going to go ahead and cut my hat material. You guys can use a knit hat and just make sure that it's bigger than the width of the, ooh, you can't see. Bigger than the width of the head. But I'm going to use this faux fur. I mean, not this faux fur, this fleece material. I'm going to use purple this time. Scoot you down just a little bit. Okay, and let's see. Let me read these comments really quick. Make sure I'm not missing anything important. Can't find the bunny on the Dollar Tree website. Must be sold out. So the bunny, the way that I saw somebody, I believe there was a very specific way they had it listed that was making it not show up easily. I think it was like plush rabbit or plush bunny or something like that on the Dollar Tree website. Okay, so for me, I'm going to do 6.5 inches wide, okay? And then I like my hats, personally, to be no less than 11 inches tall. Typically, that is pretty much my common height that I like to achieve. So what I'm going to do, this is going to be on the inside because this material that I have right now is smooth on one side and kind of, I don't know what you call that. I was going to say scraggly, but that's not really the right word. It's kind of scruffy looking on one side and smooth on the other. And I want the smooth inside to be outside at the end. So I'm just going to mark really quick with a little dot. And just to kind of keep an eye, let me know where I'm at as a guide. And then what I like to do first, I'm going to turn it this way. And I'm just going to cut kind of straight across. Does not have to be perfect because I'm going to fold this end under anyway and glue it. And then I'm going to cut at an angle, and I like to slightly curve. So I kind of start straight, I kind of go straight first and I kind of curve over and then just kind of keep it at an angle until I get to about the 11-inch mark. So straight and then start kind of curving. Okay, I'm going to set that aside and we'll make sure that I like this before I make a final decision on it. Sometimes I end up going, I don't know if that's exactly the shape I was going for. Joann's is out and Walmart has none. What are we talking about, Penny? I ordered the bunny from Dollar Tree tonight. I just put bunny in the search. Good, thank you, Debbie. Debbie says she ordered the bunny from the Dollar Tree tonight and put bunny in the search, and it was the first one to come up. Are you in the fold? That is a great question, Jeannie. Yes. So this is on the fold. I do it both ways, really and truly. I like to do, when I can, I like to just not have to do extra work, and we'll use the fold, and so I don't have to cut or glue more. But you can do it both sides. It's completely up to you. If you're sewing, it's just however you prefer it. Okay, so now I have that. Actually, I don't know why I'm folding that, so trying to get that so straight. I'm going to open it up. And remember, I know that I want this side, this is very wrinkly. I know that I want this side to be on the outside, so I'm actually going to flip it over face down because I want to fold my material up like this so that this is tucked in. And I'm going to apply a strip of hot glue all the way across. I am using a low temp heat gun. It is AdTech brand. It's my personal preference. Oops, I missed a little spot. You want to make sure you don't get any gaps in there. Well, I guess it really doesn't matter too much on your fold of your brim, and I just try to keep it pretty straight, and I'm just smashing it onto the material. Smashing it down. My club members know I have a saying. I say, smash it, don't stretch it. So Penny said faux fur, I need some, oh, okay, faux fur. I gotcha. So Joann's is out right now and Walmart does not have it. That is frustrating. Let me give you a couple of suggestions on faux fur. Some little ways you can think outside the box on that would be like, check out the rugs, the bath rugs at Walmart. You kind of have to fill the backing material, but they make great beards. And I know people that have actually used them lots and lots of times. I've used a pillow. I did that for the Grinch. Okay. So now I like to start at the top of my hat material and then work my way down. It's personal preference. It's just easier for me. I don't know if anybody else relates to that. So I'm just smashing it to get me started. And then I'm going to fold it up so I know where I'm at. And this is fleece material. I don't know if I said that before. That's right, Kathy. Smash it, don't stretch it. Making them gnomes. Okay, now I'm just going to I'm staying right on the very edge, and I just noticed I don't have you guys down here real close with me, so if you'll give me just a second, let me set this on here. I'll get you closer with me so you can see right up close what I'm doing. Oh, Five Below. Victoria says Five Below has some pillows and sometimes rugs that are faux fur. Five Below is such a great option. Looks like it's a little bit dark. I don't know why. Sorry, y'all. Trying to move that up close, up close and personal. Okay. Get this glue strings everywhere on me. Okay, let's continue. So I like to go, I'm gonna clean my tip off real quick, and I like the precision tip. And I just like to be right up on the edge, and I make sure and put my tip right where I can feel the hardness of that last bit of glue. So I set it right into that, and I squeeze and I start to pull so I don't end up with any gaps. And you notice if I go back and forth a little bit, that means I saw a little bit of a gap, and I want to make sure and fill that in. Plus this material is really wrinkly, so it's not going on as straight. So I'm going to stop there for a second and oops, fold that in. I'm going to fold that over, I'll lay that, smash it. Smash, 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 smash. Hello, Angela May from Missouri. Thank you so much. She says she loves my gnomes. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Donna Powers, thank you. Found it and ordered, Alice said. Awesome, awesome. Love y'all sharing. Thank y'all so much. All about getting that info out so that we can all be successful. Okay, again, right, I'm feeling that hard from the glue that's already set right up against it. That way I don't have any gaps when I continue my line. No holes is what I mean once I turn this material right side out. You see me going back and forth a little bit. That's because I'm filling in that glue where I think I might have been too thin. Now I'm just going to lay this right down on there and smash. Jamie says Five Below is changing their name to Five and Beyond. Five and Beyond, so things are going to be $5 and up now. Oh my gosh, that's so frustrating. Silly to me. Silly. At ours, it's like some stuff is $5, some stuff is $15. It's crazy. So Teresa's asking, do you have a video on the other Easter gnome that you made, the one with the green hat you showed us? I don't yet. That is going to be one that I will end up doing in the Makers Club. And it will be lots of fun. It is very different. And I think that y'all will enjoy it. And I'm just going to trim some of this excess off. If you noticed, I didn't hurry up and flip this right side out, and it's because my glue needs time to set up. If I do it too quickly, I run the risk of pulling the material away from itself and showing a lot of whiting from the glue. Let me watch my foot so I don't kick anything off of here. So afraid I'm going to knock my camera over. So now I'm going to turn the hat right side out. So I'm just going to push this material down in here. And I have this little homemade pusher, if you will. It's just a stick. You can see that. It's just a stick that I have ended up with hot glue from some other projects that I've done. And it is like the best little fabric turner I have ever had personally. It just works really, really well for me. And I'm just pushing the point through before I turn it all the way, and then do it one more time now that I'm through right side out. Okay, so that is done. Yep, you can absolutely sew. Kathy, I'm not sure who you were answering. It looks like Lily. Oh, Lily. Can we sew the hat since it's fleece? Absolutely. Completely up to you. Every single thing that I teach the hot glue version, but everything I teach can be done sewing. Okay, so there's our little hat. Let's go ahead and put it on our rabbit. Let me get you back up here for a second. Let's see. Tuck them ears down. That just looks too big right now, doesn't it? I promise you it will not be. I'm going to tell you the measurements now that I've flipped him right side out. It is still right at 6.5 inches, maybe 7. All right, let me look at this for a second. I'm going to fill this in. I missed a little spot right here. I'm just going to add a little tiny bit more glue and pinch that together. I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to grab this faux fur now. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. That thing is in my way. Sarah is from Connecticut and says, what Dollar Tree do you see these at? She was responding to somebody else. I'm just reading the comments, making sure I'm not missing anything that's important. Oh, Jamie said, hello from CT. Just saw these at my Dollar Tree today. I'll have to go back tomorrow. I love this idea. Thanks for sharing. I'm so glad. I think this is a good one, and it's a great addition to things that you're already doing. For any of you that are gnome makers and sellers, this is a great little thing to add to sell on Facebook. So, I mean, in your market. So, I like my beard to be right about there. Sometimes maybe to the nose, just over the nose of the rabbit, but I like to always double, triple check. Let's see which way I want the hat to go. So I'm just testing things out. I always test everything before I secure anything. So we're getting a little closer, you can see. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and secure that faux fur onto there. think I'm going to come up to about right there. On this guy, you can see that, so you can see how like high up it is on his body. Right there. And that's what I'm kind of going for. Come down just a hair. I guess I do want it to be right at the nose. Okay, so now I'm just going to hold it in place, fold it down, and I'm going to apply a strip of hot glue right across it and secure it to his face. Where can we get more info in the Makers Club? I'm new, first time here. That says Teresa. Can somebody share with Teresa the link to the Makers Club sign up? I think you can find it in the Tenderfoot Gnomes and Gnomies group. It should be pinned in the announcements, I believe. If you don't mind. If not, Teresa, I can get that for you afterwards. If not, so okay. So we have our beard on there now. I picked up some faux fur. Let me get that off. I'm going to check it again. Check, check, check. All the time. Yes, I'm liking that. So now, at this point, I'm going to decide where I want to put my nose. And oh, let's do a nose. So I have clay noses. Give me just a second. I'm going to get in your way for just a second. I do apologize. I did not have this ready. Sorry about that. So I like the clay noses. I also like fleece noses. So I'm going to show you an option. I think I'm going to use a clay nose. That's what I used on this one. But I'm going to show you the option of doing a fleece nose as well. So let me cut this off. And I'm actually just going to cut a chunk of this material. I get this material at Walmart. It is tan fleece. It's by the yard. And it lasts me forever for doing noses. So, and that is only a part of what I have. So, and so I don't need this much material, but I always like to give myself extra. I'm gonna go ahead and cut off a little bit of this though, because I really know I don't need all that. Okay, let me get you down a little closer. Not sure why it looks a little bit darker in my room tonight. 'Tis weird. Maybe it's because my light is set a little further away than normal. Let me read real quick, catch up on any comments. Thank you. Yeah, if you go to the, so easy way I can tell you to find the information about the Makers Club. If you are in the Tenderfoot Village Gnomes and Gnomies the private free group, then in the announcement tab is a link to that sign up. That's probably the easiest way to get you there. Okay, so I'm going to take these are jumbo cotton balls. Oops, you can't see them. 2 jumbo cotton balls. And I'm going to put them right in the middle. You can do 1. It just kind of depends on the size of your nose. You can do 1.5. Just kind of have to play with it and see what you like. And then I'm going to hold this down and I'm going to pull my material up around. And see, this is way, way more than enough material. Okay. Then I'm going to take, I like to use these little hair elastics. I like to use about 2 or 3 of them. And I like that because if I use one, they're not strong enough by themselves and I'll pop them. But I've found that by using 2 or 3 of them, they don't pop so much. Every once in a while they do, or one might, but then I still have the rest. All right, so you can make this nose as big or as small as you want, as tight as you want. And you see I have all this excess that I just don't need. So the way that I like to do it, I like to take my thumb and use my thumb as a guide for how much excess I want. So I just place my thumb on the material and I cut right above. And you can see I'm moving let me grab my better scissors. I don't know why I'm trying to work so hard. But I move my thumb as I'm cutting just to kind of help keep me at about that distance. And what this does is it gives me a little bit of excess, which I want in order to really secure that nose up underneath my hats. me put that away. So let me show you what this looks like. Oop, let's get you back up here so you can actually see what it looks like. So what I do is I tuck this up underneath there if I'm doing that method. And you can see. And then you can also manipulate the shape of the nose when you make it with the fleece. The same thing with using a nylon or pantyhose and cotton ball. So there is that. Totally do that method if you'd like. I think I'm going to do a clay nose though. I've been really liking the way they look on this. So Lily's asking, does that clay crack? The clay does not crack. This is polymer clay. And so it's not like, so air dry clay has a tendency to crack, especially if you're using some of the lower quality air dry clay. But the higher quality does not crack as often. It's a little harder. And if it cracks, there are ways to fix that as well. So right now I'm just testing noses to see what I want. And I found that I really like those big noses on this particular craft. So give me just a second. Let me play with this for a minute. I think it's going to be this one. They're all different. I make them all different shapes. Like I have a gnome nose making day, and I'll make them all different shapes for myself. I'm going to hang on to that one for a minute just to think about it. That way I make different sizes, so you can see I have the little ones just like I did on that other little gnome right here. So he's got one of the little noses right there. Set him back over here. Okay, so let me get that out of the way. Now I'm ready to apply my nose. So what I have to do right now is I'm kind of looking at it to see how far down I want it. And I know that I want it. So guys, let me show you how far down I am onto this rabbit. I am significantly down. So I'm going to probably end up putting the nose about right here. So if that gives you kind of an idea. And you can see I did the same thing on this guy. I like my nose right about there. I want the hat to hit the shoulders of that rabbit myself. So I'm not going to glue my hat on or anything like that right now. I want it to be able to be taken off. Let's go ahead and put this nose on. Let's see. Oh, Lorinda likes the Lorinda likes my little rabbit. Thank you so much, Lorinda. I think he's cute too. Let me make sure I'm not missing any other questions. Talking about polymer clay, I see. Hi. I thought I would watch for a while. Hi, Orly. Thank you, everyone who's sharing the link. I really appreciate that. Okay, good. I'm caught up. All right. So, let's see. I'm going to put him about right here. And that means I'm going to lay him down. Go ahead and take that hat off. I'm going to hold where I'm at. And I like to make sure I'm center. So I'm flattening him out. And then I spread the material away from the area where I'm going to be gluing. I want to get right up in there on that netting. I'm going to check it one more time. Yep, I really like it right there. So in the Tenderfoot Village Gnomes and Gnomies group, the free group, I did a video earlier today on dyeing fur. So if you've been curious about how to dye fur or what that process is like, I did a video and just kind of went over many different ways that you can dye the fur. So I just squeezed a good glob of glue right there onto my nose. And the way that I like to do it is I like to put it on and roll it up. So I'm going to set it on there and I'm going to roll it up instead of down. If you roll it down, you run the risk of oozing that hot glue out underneath the nose, and then people can see it. And I've just found that this works a little bit better for me. So I'm just pulling that material around that glue, really setting it in. So there's my nose. And then let me turn him back in front of me. Check this out. That looks kind of funny. See, they do have eyes, y'all. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything real quick. Sorry for getting, I'm left-handed. I'm sorry I get my arm in the video. Did you mean air dry clay cracks? I do. Yep. Did I say polymer? Air dry clay is the one that tends to crack. But there are fixes for that. It is not hard to work with. Orly loves the bunny. Thank you, Orly. Surprised that the hat seam is on the side and not the back. That's just the way that I do them most of the time. You can totally do them on, you can totally do it on the back. Let's try it on the back and see what it looks like. I did it on the back for the little bunny gnome that I just showed you with the green hat. So that's cute too. That would work just fine. I just put my hat seam on the side. It's just one of those things that I've done for a while. Okay, so that being said, I really think that I don't know if I want to leave it like this. I think I might, actually. Thank you for the suggestion. Let me make sure to lay down though. Because of the way that I cut them, it kind of creates more of a curve to the back. So I actually think this time I am going to go ahead and continue to do it to the side. But if you were to cut it more at a straight, I believe, or like at a straight angle, I believe that it would be just fine going to the back. Okay, so how do we do those ears, right? Let's move on to that. Let me put the hat back on real quick after I read the comments really quick. Samantha says, do you ever use an X-Acto knife to cut the fur? If not, is there a reason I shouldn't use one? Samantha, you absolutely can use an X-Acto knife to cut the fur. I did it for a long, long time. For me, I prefer using a box cutter just because my arm doesn't get as tired. And when you make a whole lot of gnomes, I'm doing a lot of pulling and stretching, and I was finding that my arm was getting tired. And the box cutter really helped me alleviate that. But I do use an X-Acto knife. I just recommend if you're going to use an X-Acto knife, keep it really sharp. You will have so much more success and less frustration if you can keep it sharp. Let me turn this just a little bit. So right now what I'm doing is I'm fine-tuning where I want the hat to be and how I want it to lay. I'm looking at this and taking this in because I'm about to make cuts. And once I make those cuts, I can't go back. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. And I really like this. Turn it just a little bit more. Bear with me just a minute. I'm gonna try it again. I really like the suggestion of putting the seam in the back, but I think it'll work. Let me see. See, I just have this, for me, having that little hump in the back because of me putting that little curve. That's the only thing. I'm really indecisive at this moment on what to do. You changed it up for me, gave me a whole new way to think. I think I am going to do this time. Okay, Sarah, just make a decision. All right, that's what we're going to do. And now I want to figure out, I need to feel. Let me read really quick, make sure I'm not missing anything. That fur dye video, Larry said, stopped on me after 20 seconds. I couldn't find it after that. Larry, I will tag you in that video after my live so that you can find it again. I'm going to be adding it to the units section in that group so that it is easy to find. And let's see. Jamie said, what kind of glue was that you put on the nose? Jamie, I used my hot glue gun. It's just a low temp. You can use hot glue, you can use super glue. I think that would work just fine. Thank you, Victoria, for helping. Let's see, hot glue. Y'all are great. I need to catch up because y'all are already answering the question. Carol says, I use hats with seams on the side and fold over. on the seam side so that it hides the seam. Perfect. And then Lorinda's asking why not leave the hat pointed. So it's just personal preference. I personally like slouchy hanging hats, but I've seen a lot of really great hats that are pointed as well. Okay. I would fold it over the seam. Fold it over the seam. Yep. Okay. I am caught up. Jamie's asking if it is a fabric glue stick. Jamie, a fabric glue stick is a great suggestion. It is not. It's just good quality glue stick. So that is one thing that I recommend. If you are going to be using a hot glue gun and if you find you're having some issues and struggles, if you will, in your hot glue gun, not use the cheapest glue. I know that it's hard sometimes to make that little bit more expensive purchase on those glue sticks, but it pays off in the long run because the low quality, it will mess up your gun. You'll have all kinds of problems. It'll ooze out of all kinds of the orifices, and it doesn't hold as well. So anyway, I recommend using good quality glue sticks in your glue gun. Okay, so now I need to figure out where my ears are at in here, and they are right here. Then I want to figure out where I want my hat to sit. Do I want to have a little bit of extra so that I can slouch? So if I'm going to have the ears where I want the hat to have a little extra on his nose, which is what I'm doing, which is exactly what I want, I need to allow for that when I'm going to be cutting. So I've got my finger right here, and I know that there's 2 ears, and I would like to do them at the same time. So I'm just trying to feel where they're at. I know where the ends are, right? So I don't want to make big slits. I want to make very small slits. So I'm going to take my scissors, and I'm just going to barely pinch, okay? And if that's not enough, make sure I went through all the way. Just a second. I did not. I'm going to do a little bit more. Just barely, because fleece is very stretchy and you can fit. I need a little bit bigger hole. Not by much. Let me go this way just a little bit. So I'm just going to put just a little bit more of a snip. This is a slow process. Do not rush this because you don't want to end up cutting too much and then you can't go back. One of the things that we can do to hide this is add like little flowers or something like that. But as long as you don't overcut, you should be pretty okay. So now I'm reaching in the back of my gnome, of my bunny, and I'm grabbing one of the ears. So I've got one of the ears in my hand, and I'm going to poke the tip of that ear through that hole. So I am using, I like Gorilla Glue, but I am using Adtech glue right now. So there's one ear right there. Now I want to put the next one. I'm going to leave a little gap right here next to this one, and I'm going to put the next snip right there. I also want to be mindful that I'm not cutting it lopsided down in front or whatever, so I want to cut it right next to that one. So I'm going to put my finger in that place, and again, I'm just going to do a tiny little snip. Let me make sure I cut. I got a little hole. Let me check it. So that is plenty. See how much it's stretched just from me sticking my finger? It's plenty. So again, I'm going to reach into the back and find that other ear. And I'm going to take, see, I've got the other ear in my hand. I'm going to take that ear and I'm going to poke it right through the front. I mean, right through that hole. And I'm pulling it all the way out, all the way flush up against that bunny ear. I mean, the bunny. Okay, so I want to have a little slouchiness right here on the nose, so I'll apply a little dot of hot glue, but I also want it to not be flat. So I want to fill it in a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a little bit of polyfill. This is pillow stuffing. And I'm just going to stuff a little. I don't want a whole lot myself. You guys do whatever you want to do, okay? I'm just putting in a little bit. Let me lay them down because I want to get up here in the cone just a little bit. And I'm keeping it very, very loose. You can see I'm actually pulling it a little as I'm pulling back so that it stays really, really loose because I just want to fill it out a little bit. And you could put wire in here if you wanted to kind of do it that way. Let me see. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure I'm not missing any questions or anything. I do. So yes, Cindy, I love Gorilla Glue. Some of my glue sticks are Gorilla Glue. Reading the comments real quick. All right, good. Caught up. So now I'm just going to loosely, see this is very, very loose. I'm just going to loosely, let's get you close up to me. Loosely just tuck some of this right up in here around the head. Okay. Just to kind of create a little more fullness. And I just play with this until I get it to where I like it. That way it looks like there's a noggin in there. A brain. I guess, I don't know. He's got big brains. So there is that. Now let me look at him because I want to get ready to glue it down. Okay. So I'm going to apply a little dot of hot glue right on the top of his nose. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my material and put it in front of it, and I'm going to push back just a little bit. Okay. And then I'm going to do on the side, I want to bring this down just a little bit. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on either side. I'm going to start with this side over here. Whoops, I curved it into the front. So I'm going to swipe that backwards, just a hair. Okay, get that glue off my finger. Now I'm going to tuck that down around. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Still got a few more steps here, but it will be really cute when we get it done. I did it again. I don't know why I'm swiping forward like that. I think it's because I'm not looking directly at it. Okay, there's that. Now, two things need to happen. So one, let me get his foot in the right spot. Okay, now what I'm going to do, so it's going to kind of go backward and forward. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply a little bit of hot glue back here, and then I'm going to apply hot glue underneath his beard. So it's going to pull him back first and then pull him back forward and straighten him up, okay? So I'm just going to apply, like I said, a little dot, and the way that I do that, kind of look at how my hat is. And I like to put it up underneath where that little fold that we created. And I like to just smash it gently against the back of him. I'm not going to pull yet because I need it to set for a minute or it will just come off. It'll be terrible. It'll be bad news bears. Okie dokie. Another thing that we can do is, so if you notice, one of the things about the bunny is he's got kind of a floppy neck. So the way that I found to alleviate that is to do a little bit more of this polyfill. And let me make sure I'm not missing any What kind of glue gun do you use? Linda asked me. So Linda, I use an AdTech glue gun. Okay, hold on. Let me show you this. So what I'm doing is I'm taking, remember how I just applied a strip of glue to this beard? I didn't go all the way over it. There's a reason, because now I can get up underneath here and tuck this material under here so that it will really fill him out. I'm going to tuck a little bit more. This is totally, you kind of have to play with this and see what kind of look you're going for yourself. And I just make sure that it stays in the center of the beard. And then I'm going to put a dot of hot glue on either corner of this beard. So it's been long enough. I'm going to go ahead and lay him down. I'm going to apply a little dot of hot glue here and a dot of hot glue here. I'm trying to stay away from the very edge. And now I'm going to, I stuck my finger right in it. Hold on just a second. I need to look at him to make sure I don't get him lopsided. There we go. So I just smashed that onto his body. There we go. Much better. I think I'm going to apply a little dot of hot glue. I want to keep that little seam tucked behind his arm. So I'm just going to apply a little dot of hot glue, just one right there behind his arm where I want that hat to stay. There's that. Y'all, he's such a great little craft. Great project. There we go. Okay, now we can give him a carrot. And I also got some flowers just in case we wanted to play around and see maybe what the flowers might look like on the hat. So we'll let me get those out of the way. We'll address that in a minute. You get over here. Okay, let me back out just a little bit. Make sure I'm not missing any comments. Victoria said, I just picked up an AdTech. My Sure Bonder started leaking glue. Joanne's had a 60% off coupon, and I got it for about $6. Can't wait to use it. Yes, it is great. I really enjoy it. There's Sharon. Hi, Sharon. Making sure I'm not missing any other comments. Okay. So there is that. Now let's give him, okay, so I got one of the things that you want to make sure and do as well with these little guys is they all their little bags of whatever you call it, gravel and stuff, are in different places in every single one of these rabbits. And you just kind of have to play with it until you get it to where you like the way he's sitting. And then he'll stay that way. There we go. Now, let me get out a carrot. So these carrots came from the Dollar Tree. They come in a pack of 6. Jamie Lynn said, do you feel these gnomes are top heavy because the bodies aren't weighted enough? Absolutely not. So the way that I alleviate the top heavy is I added that dot of hot glue behind the hat, and then I pulled it forward and glued it there as well. And I do that to help with that top heaviness. I think that you do need to play with the little pellets that are inside of each one of these because, like I said, they're all different. Some of them are on one side. You also need to pay attention to the ears because some of them have their ears off to the side for some reason rather than in the middle, which is cute, but it just doesn't work. I mean, I guess you could totally do that unless you're not wanting that is what I'm trying to say. All right, so I have this. I noticed that it has a little tiny looseness right here, so I'm just going to add a little bit of hot glue just to make sure this does not unravel. There we go. And there's my carrot. And so I'm just going to apply it right there to his hand. So I'm just adding a little dot of hot glue right there on the hand. And I'm smashing that carrot right onto it. Let me turn it just a little bit. Here we go. There's his little carrot. Now, let me look at some flowers. I don't know if these are going to be too much pink. Let's see. I at least want to see. I may not even do this, but it's worth looking at. And then I have little bitty flowers too. I have some blue. I think I need to stick with pink, maybe. No. Maybe blue. Let me see. Let's try this real quick. Let's see. Is that going to be too much? Put it on this side. Maybe 1, 2, 3. You guys, you can do anything with these. This is a great base project. Good. Oh, I don't want to use that one either. I'm trying to find a good pair of scissors that is not my fabric scissors. See if I want to build up some of these flowers right here. I think like 3 is going to be too few. It's really cute though. Anyway, I don't know if I want any flowers. I really like the simplicity of the gnome, the way he is. But there is the little guy. So I do agree, the blue did look better. But, I mean, I don't even think he needs the flowers. I really don't. Really, really. I'm going to try a little bit one more time. We'll do 3. 1, 2, 3. But I really, really don't think that he even needs that. If you wanted to, though, you could absolutely do some little flowers. Or anything. You could put them in a little cluster right on the corner if you wanted to. Anyway, just lots of options. This is a really great just base rabbit gnome. Like, I mean, there's so much that you can do with this little rabbit. I'm really pleased. I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial, or not even a tutorial, just the live. But I guess it was kind of a tutorial. So, yeah, I like him without the flowers too. I think he's really cute. So here is my blue guy and my purple guy. I think they're great additions to any Easter stuff that you might be interested in doing. There's the little guy that I made today. He's so cute. Anyway, so if you'd like to know more about the Makers Club, head over to the Tenderfoot Village Gnomes and Gnomies group. Say that you saw the live tonight. Let me know how you found me. And yeah, so thank you so much. I hope this was a nice little break from the crazy weather and everything else going on right now. Thank you for being here, and you guys enjoy the rest of your night. I will definitely be back on here real soon. So thanks for watching. Y'all have a good one.